and welcome back to The Joy of Painting Middle-earth. I'm Timbo Took, and I'm happy you've joined me. Now, I thank you so much for everybody who's watched our previous episodes, and if this is your first time, welcome. Now, my little hobbits tell me that you can click on a little thing down in the corner and subscribe, just that easy, and that helps with the council of YouTube. I don't see it. I think they might be teasing me. But if you see it, go ahead and click on that. Now, let's get to today's painting. It's going to be oh so much fun. Now remember, I said we paint the most fantastic landscapes in Middle-earth. And sometimes we'll paint a scary one a time or two. Well, that can be quite fun, and today is one of those days. We're going to paint the dead marshes. That's right. Let's get right to it. I've covered our canvas. I've prepared it as we usually do. I covered it with a thin coat of liquid white. We call it magic white. That's right. It puts down on the canvas so we can mix our colors, and you'll see a mix on the canvas and it looks like magic. And it should. I was taught how to paint by the Blue Wizard, Bob Ross the Blue. Okay, let's go. So today, as I said, we're painting the dead marshes. This is going to be a gloomy sky. So I'm just going to come in to some of my titanium white. I'll just put some of that down just so it's not too dark. And we're going to pick up some of our blue. We're using an ultramarine blue today. But you know, sometimes that can be a little too blue for the sky we're going for. So let's take a little bit of our green. This is our sap green. We can go in here. Oh, that might look a little too green. Let's go to some brown, our burnt umber. Okay, we're mixing these colors up. Maybe even some of our black. Now, we're going to go up and we're going to just start circling in some of these dark clouds onto our canvas. And you'll see those colors come through. Just circle them in, circle them in. There we go. This is not a fun place. This is not a place that we would want to be caught in. Now, I've been adventuring through Middle-earth to so many places, but this is one place I've never actually visited. I was always a little bit scared from my Grandgaffer Gamgee's stories about it. That's right. It is quite a scary place. We're just going to darken the sky right up. There we go. And it gets lighter as we're coming down as we work our way back. There we go. Now, Professor Tolkien described the dead marshes. Oh, he said he described the land as being dreary and wearisome. Cold, clammy winter still held its sway in this forsaken land. There we go. Get some of our blue. Going to come down, make this a little more bluish here, because we're going to put in, we'll have some water for the marshes down here. That's right. Just pull our color in from the side. There we go. When we make this water, just pull it in, and you'll see those colors just kind of come together. That's right. He said the only green here was the scum of the livid weed on the dark, greasy waters. Just pull it straight across. From each side, just let the different colors just come off your brush as you do this. That way you're filling that in. When you go back to your color, start at the bottom. That's where it'll be the darkest. And just pull this across. There we go. Sometimes we don't want these colors to be too separated. It looks a little funny on the water. But paintings like this one, we certainly do want all these different colors that are going to be in the water here. There we go. Now, we've got a pretty good base laid down for this. Let's come here, just get a little bit of our titanium white on the brush, and then we're just going to just fill it in down here. There's not too much just bright white in this land. Everything casts a dark and gloomy shadow. There we go. Okay, let's come back up to our sky now. Let's find some areas. We'll go to our fan brush. And now, just pick up some of this white. Just work that into your fan brush. There you go. Work it in there. And we'll come back up here. And we'll just find some areas where there might be some light somewhere in the back, trying to peek through. Oh, you wish it would get through. It's a tough go. It's a tough go hiking through those marshes. There we go. Just find where some of that light trying to peek through. Just circle that in. There we are. There we are. That's our fool's hope. Fool's hope trying to peek through. But, of course, in this land, it's the dark that seems to win out most times. There we go. Now we'll come back, and some of our clouds have darkened up here. Just put this in. Those colors will all just play and mix together, and they create those fights in the clouds where the rain is wanting to start and come down. Just work these in. Just work in that dark into the canvas. Oh, and again today I'm painting inside the hobbit hole. The weather wasn't looking too good for painting outside, so of course when I'm in here I can't beat the Sauron out of the brush against the easel like I like to. But I do have a rubbish bin, and I beat the Sauron out of it in there, so you can do that too. And the Mrs. Hobbit won't be quite so upset. Okay, let's come in, and we're just going to blend these together, just using the corner of our brush. Blend these together. There we go. Let all those different clouds that are battling back and forth, just let them work together. Leave some rough edges there, and as we come down, they're going to be softer and softer. So we just really mix those in. A lot of different colors rolling through there. Now, just knock some of that off the brush. Now we're going to play the part of the wind. We're just going to lift just to soften this out. Lift, just like the wind. Just lift those clouds. There we go. There we go. Just come back. Just soften them up. This is very light. Not much pressure on that brush at all. Same way the wind mixed the clouds together right outside. You can probably walk right outside your hobbit hole. Look up at the clouds and you can see this happening. Well, maybe not this dark of a sky. I don't know. Some days, lately they've been very dark days. And those are always scary times. But what we do, we need to remember, we all want the best for our families. That's right. We all want to raise our little hobbits in a world that is safe. So what we do, even though like these clouds, all different kinds, we just want to treat each other with kindness and gentleness. Gently as you make these clouds. There we go. Just treat your neighbors. Treat your neighbors like family. Treat people you don't know. Just treat them like an old friend. That's right. We like to make fast friends. There we go. Soften some of this water out. Now, off in the distance, back in the distance, we have the mountains that Mr. Frodo, my Grandgaffer Gamgee, and the creature Gollum, he was leading them through those dead marshes. I don't know, that was a chance I think they were taking right there. He wanted that ring. So, let's come in and let's give ourselves the mountain range. There's going to be a couple of them. You'll see them off in the distance. These, we're just going to go back to that dark color. Just put this on our brush. There we go. Now, we're going to have some closer mountains here. So we're going to start with the mountains that are the furthest away. So we start with those and we'll put some mist over them and then we'll put the closer mountains in. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So we're just going to come right here. Just give ourselves this mountain line. 2-inch brush might be too big for that right now. Why don't we go to our fan brush? We'll use that to make the tops of the mountains. Clean this off real quick. There we go. There we go. Just load up that dark color on the brush. And we'll come here and we'll put in this mountain range as it just marches back. Marches back away from us. Just let those little things happen on your brush. Pick up more paint as you need it. There we go. They just march away. There we go. Now let's just come in and just pull that down. What we're doing is we're leaving that line you see right there. We're leaving that in place and we're just pulling down from that. Okay, so just grab it and pull down. There we go. These mountains, there's so much mist back here we can't see any of the details in them. we can't see any of the details. We can just tell through the fog, through the mist, that they're there. That's all we can tell. There we go. Just bring that down. And they just march right off our canvas. They keep going. Those are back where we've talked about how all that stuff back there, it has its own story to tell. We don't know the story. We know our story that we're in. There we go. Just bring this down. That's right, you just leave that top edge as your dark edge. And then you just bring it down. Now that we have it laid in there, let's go back. We're going to take our 2-inch brush, just clean this off. Give it a clean. Okay, there we go. We've cleaned off our 2-inch brush. Now we're going to go in and we're just going to tap on this. Just tap at the bottom. Tap from the bottom and go up the mountain. That creates that mist. And follow your angles as you go. Just tap at the bottom. Follow it up. There we go. Now you may have to put one of your big old feet on your easel to kind of hold it steady as you tap. There we go. Now you can see that gives us some mountains there. Those will be back in the distance. Let's put some bigger ones, some closer ones that are going to be darker now. And we'll tap this in so it'll just appear as there's more mist on those mountains that are pushed into the back. Okay, so I'm actually going to go to our palette knife for this one. Get more of that dark color. Just bring those grays and blues and everything into it. Just pick it up and smash it down. Just pull off a little roll of paint. There we go. You can see that. Then we're going to come back here. And this mountain is going to come down right over this one. So you just decide where your mountain is going to live. Pick up some more paint. And you just bring them right in. There we go. He just marches right back this way. Now you want about the same line on the bottom. So once you get your top filled in, just scrape the paint down onto the canvas. Just really push it in there. There we go. That's where we want our mountain, just to come down to there. So now that we've scraped off some of that excess paint and pushed it into the canvas, now we're going to go back to our 2-inch brush. Drop that there. There we go. Now we're going to take that 2-inch brush. Just beat a little bit of the Sauron out of it. Don't throw that paint thinner all over your hobbit hole. We just come in now, and again, we're just going to pull this down. Just being aware of this line. We don't want to have it, it can come down this way if you want, but we're just trying to make it that not too much into the foreground. There we go. Just bring this down. Maybe knock some of that paint you're picking up. Just knock it off your brush. Come back. Now, what we're going to do, we've picked up some of that white that was underneath, but that's okay. That's just going to create some of our mist, and we'll pull it back up the mountain. There we go. Just tap that in there. This gives us this mist that's coming off the marshes at the bottom. Maybe we want to throw another rock face coming down in here. So we just come up and we can just cut them off right there. Cut them off. There we go. We can even come back and darken him up a bit at the top. Give yourself some angles in there. There we go. There we go. And again, we'll just bring these mountains or hills or whatever you want to call them. Bring them back. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just create that mist down at the base. Just bring it all the way across. There we are. Now, we've got those laid in. They look good, but we want to bring maybe some rain into the picture, because that would make it even more miserable. And we're doing a miserable painting today. Oh, don't worry. We'll get to some happier paintings in another day. But this one makes things a little tough. A little hard for our hobbits. That's right. There we go. Clean off that brush. Now, we're going to come back. Let's see. Now in here where the sky is dark and that, let's just give ourselves, just put a little bit of that titanium white onto the brush. Now we're going to come up and we're just going to find some of these clouds where maybe some rain is coming out of it. So we're just going to pull down. Yep. Pull down. There we go. And you see this? This is coming from our clouds. That's just going to make life a little bit harder on those hobbits that are trying to come through. Just pull it down. There we go. There we are. Now, on this water we want some too, because the rain comes down and hits, and that'll splash up. But with that, we want to get a little bit of the dark color in there. And we're going to do the same, but we're going to pull up now. So we're going to come here and pull up. There we go. Oh, picked up some yellow in there. That's all right. Just mix it in. Mix it in. Come back. Pull up. There we go. There you can see the rain coming to the water here. Just pull it up. There we go. There we go. Okay, now we have to put some of that land in there that our hobbits were going across. Like I said, they were being led by Mr. Gollum. Oh, Gollum. Now, we need to put just some land shapes in here, some things, and we're going to start. We're just going to go into that dark color we had going for our mountains, and we're just going to lay some of that down, just down here. So, we're just going to come in, and there's water all around, and just paths through. It's a very difficult place to go through. So what we need to do is just create some of those pieces of land you see. And just put this dark color down. And we'll come over it and put some details and things. Maybe some more over here. Definitely not a place you'd want to be for very long, if at all. Lots of little islands and things right in this water area. Leave yourself some water in there. And then as it goes on and on to the distance, you don't see as many details in there. Just fill it in. Let's give ourselves a little outcropping there. Sneaks out into the water. This might be the path that they're taking. There. That gives us a nice little swampy land that we're looking at. Now you may have spots where the weeds and things, they grow up a little bit taller. Now, we're going to give ourselves some little spots of reflection in here. So, just grab and pull straight down into the water. Grab and pull straight down. There we go. These make simple, simple reflections. Be sure to knock some of that off as you're picking paint up onto your brush. Just knock some of it off so you're not laying down more paint as you do this. There we go. That's how we do these reflections. Just pull straight down. Gives us a nice, quick, easy reflection back there. Then come back and just soften it up. Very gently. There we go. Just knock some of that paint off that you might be picking up. Now, we remember what's in the water. What Gollum says, don't follow the lights. That's right. The dead marshes, long ago, there was an ancient battle, and the bodies of the dead are still in the water. And so, as you're walking by, you might see something in the water. And it may feel like you want to join it, but don't. Do not join what's in that water. And just come back up. Just tap this out back here. This just gets lost in the mist. Back in the mist. Okay. Now, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back in here and we're going to put in some dead grasses and rotting reeds that loom up into the mist like ragged shadows of long forgotten summers. That's how Professor Tolkien put it. That's right, he was a poet, and some of his poetry could very much scare you. It'd give you dreams and nightmares. Oh, but what a story he weaves together. So much fun, so much fun. Okay. So, we're going to come in here and let's lay down some dark green. Let's take some green and really darken that up. There we go. There we go. Darken that up. Really mix it onto your brush. Using a fan brush now. Now we're going to come back and we're going to give some moss and dead grass and things that come out in here. Just build on top of what you've already laid down. There we go. There we go. Just keep coming back, mixing that together, and we can just really just put this down. This is what we walk upon there in the marshes. Just put that dark color in, and we'll come back and highlight that even more. There's not a whole lot of light that comes into this land, but there is a little bit that seeps through and picks up that dried, rotting grass. And so we'll see that here in a minute. Whoa, whoops. Settle down. It's a little tight in the hobbit hole. I don't have as much room as I do out in the Shire, in the fields out there with the sheeps and donkeys and things. Those are always fun. It's always fun to paint out in the field, but some days we just can't do it all. Just can't do it all. Just lay this down. You're not being too detailed with it. Just come back, darken it up. There we go. Just lay it down right over those darks. So those darks will make up the shadows and things. Back there, let the mist just take it away. There we go. Use your fan brush, just flip it over side to side, sometimes this way, sometimes that way. That way you get different shapes, different colors that come off the brush. There we go. Those marshes just go on, much longer than you would think they would. We'll go to our smaller fan brush, and we're going to drop in some old trees that may be still trying to pop up through there. There we go. These old dead trees. No leaves, nothing like that. There we go. We'll just take that. Maybe there's one back here. Maybe off on the side. He doesn't have a single branch on him. Where did the branches go? We don't know. We don't know. This one may. He's trying. Maybe there's one right here. Look at that. Oh, these fellows. These poor trees. They don't realize there are other places where they could live as a big forest. Not here. Not in the dead marshes. No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. Okay. Okay, we're going to go back to our bigger fan brush, and we're going to grab some yellow. We're going to make a little bit of a highlight green, but just kind of a dead grass. Just that yellow, the dead grass. Maybe pick up some white just to dull it out so it's not bright. There we go. Just mix that color together, put it on your fan brush, and let's see what it gives us. Oh yes, that's a good color to go on top. And just pop him in there. Just continue to go back, pick some up. There we go. This is just some of that dead grass. Maybe come back to our yellow. Brighten it up a little bit. But again, grab some of that white that can dull it out. There we go. Not much growing here. Not much at all. But this having these lights over your darks can give you an idea of how the land picks up those shadows, picks up those highlights. And you never know when you take a step on this soft moss, your foot might sink right down into it. So you have to watch your step as you go through a swampy, boggy marsh like this. There we go. There's not much joy here. Not much joy here at all. As I said, I've traveled all over Middle Earth. Traveled with my Grandgaffer Gamgee and my Grandpappy Took, even my Grunkle Mary. When I was very young, very, very young. But we never made our way to the Dead Marshes, and I never went out of my way to try and travel there myself. Oh no, that not be a place I wanted to visit. There we go. All right. Some of the places will look a little more solid for your feet than others. Some of them you might want to come in and just give it a little, just take a little brown, just to show that there is some dirt still. There is some dirt still in there. There we go. There we go. Come back here. There's some mud and things that'll suck down on your feet. Get you trapped in there. Okay, now we're going to do some of these taller reeds that do grow. They do grow up. And the wind can catch a hold of them and blow them. So just put these reeds in here. Just bend your brush, showing the wind Blowing these reeds. There we go. There we go. Just bend that brush and just take it and pull it back where the wind would be blowing it. Where the wind would be blowing. Just give motion to your painting. You paint like this, it's not just still. There we go. Just a little movement, and just always make it so the wind is going in the same direction. You don't want some blowing this way, some blowing that way. Let's say, what kind of wind is blowing in there? So these just follow the bank down. There we go. Just put them in and bend them over. There we go. There we go. This makes it even harder to walk through. Just keep going back for more color. Those dark ones look nice. There we go. Now we may even want to grab some of that yellow, dull it out in the green. So now we have the lighter one right next to it. There we go. Just drop right on some of those darker ones. Just gives you that color variation there. So you can see one from the other. See how the wind takes it and bends it away. Okay, well, now, if you are a very good artist, you may want to come back in and maybe put a hobbit or two and a golem creature. Put those in there, and that would really round off the painting. But I'm just doing the landscapes for now. Oh, maybe there would be one more thing we could do. Now that we got to this point, there was one other thing that made this a very scary place. Maybe off in the sky here. There might be something flying up there. That might be one of those Nazgul. Oh, look at that. Look at that. One of the Black Riders. It's very far away. There we go. That's just a little something. Just a little something to give us a little bit more scare in there. Perhaps you don't want to put that in yours. That's fine. Even if you do and you don't like it, just scrub it over with a little bit of cloud. That's fine. Now, I think this is a pretty good painting, if I do say so myself. Thank you for joining me on The Joy of Painting Middle-earth. Now, next week, I want you to make sure you tune in. It's going to be the 10th episode, and we're going to try and do a very special painting. I know I say they're all special, but that one will be very special. I hope you stick around and watch it with me, or paint with me. Remember Just treat everybody with kindness. Goodbye, and God bless.